team. We're going to Wembley. Tell me ma. That's so much fun coming, Newcastle fans. So do us a favour, if you want to get one foot in Wembley, and make sure you stick around, yeah. London's calling, and I don't know the rest of the words, so I'm just going to crack straight on with this match vlog. Welcome back to my white partner, Newcastle fans, and any mums that might be watching this. That tea is still going on hold. Whether you need to freeze it, whether you just need to get me a microwave oven ready, because we're not telling them that we're going to be home for tea just yet, because we are in the Carabao Cup semi-final. And you know what? As I've got the train down, yes, another train, yes, a lot of money that I can't really afford. God, supporting a football team is expensive. I was just reading an article from Craig Hope about which is more important for the club, Champions League or Carabao Cup. Just as you can hear the Geordies in the train station singing there as they arrive, we take over everywhere we go. Well, yeah, financially, Champions League might be better, but what football fan in their right mind cares about finances? We care about a trophy in that cabinet, and I'm past the point of being embarrassed. I'll just say it bluntly, Newcastle United have not won a cup for too long. My lifetime, anyone's lifetime, old men's lifetime at this point. And this is massive tonight. It's a massive game. I've just travelled down, but I've got a spring in my step, because I have just, as I step foot on the train, become an uncle for the second time. My amazing brother, who has been on match vlogs before, his missus has just given birth to a lovely, beautiful little boy who's going to support Newcastle and come on away days with me, Mason. So I'm absolutely over the moon. Hopefully that's a good omen tonight. Little baby Mason might be watching this on the telly in the next couple of days, who knows? Get in, another one joining the family. Massive game tonight. 6,000 Geordies travelling down today. Where do we start with this one? Well, I think we need to approach the elephant in the room first. There's no Bruno in our midfield. Bruno, as a rule, is always fit. He very rarely gets injuries, and he's been in absolutely fantastic form. There was question marks over him as a captain earlier in the season. Now he's flying, and it's a huge loss. And it's probably a player, the way he plays, the style of player that he plays in this system of Tonali, Joey and Bruno, that has been gelling literally like the three best friends that anyone could have. It's not replaceable. You know, you've got Longstaff, you've got Willock. I'm not going to say you've got Miley, because I don't think Eddie Howe is realistically going to play Miley as good as a young talent that he is. You know, you play Willock, that's Eddie Howe going for it, quite attacking. You play Longstaff, we lose something. We don't have that pace in the pass. We don't have that forward thinking. We don't have that cohesion between him and Tonali, because they haven't played much. But that's the player who I think steps up tonight. He's just won the goal and the player of the round for the quarterfinals, where he literally ran the show against Brentford. Joe Linton is going to bring that aggression. He's going to bring that powerhouse that we see week in, week out on the left and in the centre. So he might have to change his position slightly. But Sandro Tonali tonight can prove that without Bruno, we still have enough quality in that midfield. And whether that involves Tonali supporting the attack a bit more, who knows? Is Eddie Howe going to make lots of changes to the team tonight? I don't want to see too many. I really don't. People on the train there, a couple of lads were just saying to us as I got off, they would maybe go Kieran Trippier. Yeah, I wouldn't be against that idea. I think Livramento has a bit more pace about him against potentially Martinelli, who he might be up against. We're not up against Saka on the right-hand side, so that's not a threat there. But in terms of us making changes, Fabian Schär is still missing, which again is a massive loss, because I said before the Tottenham game, Botman, he's just come back. Of course, Eddie Howe said in his press conference, he's going to tell him that he's fit to play. He's not going to say, no, I don't want to play more minutes. But he's not playing a comfortable position. Two left-footed centre-backs I don't like. You are asking them to tilt and shift their body quickly to use the weaker foot. But I thought he grew into the game on Saturday. And if it's Botman and Byrne, which it looks like it definitely will be, then so be it. We told Martin Dubravka might be playing his last game of football for Newcastle tonight. Some fans are sad to see that be the case, but if the money being talked about was 8 million for the age he is and the quality, in my opinion, we can't turn that down with this stupid PSR rule in place. So if this is his last game tonight, Martin, you and me have had a bit of an up and down relationship after you went to Man United and how you dealt with that on loan not too many moons ago. Go out with a bang, because it's the sort of luck you need from your goalkeeper to get a result. Now, the bigger question, am I confident before I go and sink a couple of pre-match beers? I don't know. I'm really fascinated to see how sets up, who he replaces Bruno with, whether he goes attacking like we've been doing in pretty much every match on this amazing run. But this team is in form. Arsenal will be fearing us more than they would a couple of months ago, so I'm going to go for a draw. But worst case scenario with the second leg, you just don't want a 2-goal lead or a 2-goal defeat or higher. 1-0, 2-1. I would take it. I wouldn't be overly happy about it because I do think we can get into this Arsenal team and cause them problems, but I would take it. But without further ado, Newcastle fans, let's get over to a couple of boozers, sink a couple of beers, then get up to the Emirates for what hopefully will be a rocking 6,000 Geordie Tuesday night atmosphere, and then we get them back to our place where we can hopefully get one step closer to Wembley. Oh yeah, let's. Before I sink a beer, how could I forget? I didn't get a chance on Saturday because of train delays, which I did not have. My train was beautifully on time down for this one. Sod's Law was the one when I was heavier on the Jaeger bombs that was delayed. But without further ado, let's get into some, yes, you guessed it, Carabao Cup. Stats. Right, let's kick off these stats with the elephant in the room. Newcastle United have lost 12 of their last 13 visits to the Emirates. I love the stadium itself. I think it's a really nice stadium, but my God, we are awful against Arsenal away from home. And anyone that might remember, it was a lovely little Andy Carroll classic header from a long punt forward from Joey Barton. That is our only win since this stadium was developed. I think Kieran Dyer scored in a 2-2 draw on our first ever visit to the Emirates. Could be wrong on that. Someone correct me on that if I am. Our record here is not bad, but anyway, that's the negative one out of the way. Let's get into some more positive ones. Arsenal have been in plenty League Cup semi-finals. If anyone remembers, Arsene Wenger used to always field his kids in this tournament right up until the final, but they used to do pretty well. That was my childhood growing up, always memories of the old Arsenal team. But in the first leg of semi-finals, they have an awful record recently. They have not won any of their last 7 in the first leg, losing 4 and drawn 3. I'm just digging out any positive omen for us on this first leg, Newcastle fans. So hopefully you can thank me later. And this is the statistic that I don't want to talk about, but it's one that worries me going into this match, and I cannot deny that. Bruno Guimaraes, in our competitive matches that he has missed, we have not won any of those 7. Sometimes stats don't always tell the story, but sometimes they paint a very worrying picture. And I really hope that we put on a show and Tonali and Joey really step up to the plate in his absence with whoever it might be, probably his long staff, to make sure that stat does not get extended. Right, anyway, let's get a beer, eh? Right, just outside the Dolphin, which if anyone doesn't know is the Newcastle official Newcastle London supporters bar. Not the cheapest for a pint, I must admit. Now I've got a Guinness in a Doom Bar glass. Everyone's just clearing the way over to the stadium now. Confidence seems pretty high, but I'm gonna joined by this lovely gentleman. Lives in London. Don't know how he does it. What's it like paying these pint prices on a regular around here?
Wonderful, Matthew.
Right, go on then, give your prediction tonight.
I reckon 2-1 Newcastle.
Who's scoring first? We haven't seen the team yet. I'm assuming I just haven't looked. Who's scoring first? Assuming it's the usuals.
I reckon he's
Alexander Isak, gimme. That's right. Give me a proper Guinness glass would be nice. Yeah, vibes are good, I can tell. Everyone's out. You wouldn't think it was midweek. You wouldn't think it was dry Jan. Although we did get told that the sales of Guinness Zero are the highest they've ever been in the Dolphin just behind us. Not for me. I think I'm going to be swimming like a dolphin after a couple more of these. Oh, here he goes, Max! Lambs to the slaughter in this queue, Jesus Christ. Like waiting to get cut in the lamb shop. I must admit, there's a lot of talk about these bigger stadiums, and you know it's a big topic in Newcastle. I don't want us to move ever, but the Emirates, when I approach the Emirates, especially on a night time, it's beautiful. From the outside, it's absolutely fantastic, and I cannot deny that. It just looks like wow. It's got that wow factor. So fair play. Could be my controversial opinion. Lots of people, I think a lot of Newcastle fans don't like the Emirates who've been, probably because we never win here, but it is nice. Pre-match predictions here from someone who apparently likes to with anything else match. They must have terrible senses of humour as well.
I'm going 2-1. 2-1.
Who's going first?
Strong shout.
Stepping up for Bruno being this.
Yeah.
I like it. And you, sir?
2-0 Newcastle.
One.
Joel Linton first.
Oh, big joy! How's the expensive London beers going down?
Well, they've gone down alright, the prices.
Anyway, away the house. Expensive pint bags. Come on! We're going to Wembley. Tell me more. Tell me ma. I tell you what, Newcastle fans, I don't think we're going home for tea. I do not think we are going home for tea because I think we're going to Wembley. And if those are my famous last words, well, I will die on that hill. I can't believe it. I'm just waiting for my late train home from London King's Cross, and I have lived my life to see Newcastle United win at the Emirates. I am absolutely buzzing with that. What a result. What a result. Look, where do we start with that one? Well, firstly, I just want to say ha to every single Arsenal fan, because do you know what they did at the end of the second half? They were chucking coins down to us. Awful. Once upon a time, I had a soft spot for Arsenal purely because of those invincible Arsene Wenger days when I was a kid. Not at all anymore, because of the tears when we beat them, the social media debacle, if you want to call it that. I know social media is not real life, but they were chucking coins down to us in that second half. Up yours, every single one of you. You've seen United, now fuck off home, pardon that French. Right, where do we start with that one? We came into this game, Sven Botman, he hasn't really played that much football. Joe Willock came in for Bruno. I said I was worried about that. I said that earlier on the video. I will not deny that at all. When we have played without Bruno, we have not, as a rule, won football matches. And the first half, look, I thought it was end-to-end. I thought it could have gone either way. We obviously got the lead. Alexander Isak does exactly what Alexander Isak does. He puts the ball in the back of the net when he gets half a chance. Bang, done. And I feel like every single one of them Arsenal fans was passing out at the sight of him, because all they are talking about on social media is Alexander Isak. Well, I tell you what, if he's thinking about going to a club, that he's just put one up yours to hopefully get us one step closer to a cup final and a trophy that what Mikel Arteta has managed in how many years now? 4, 5, 6? I don't know the exact numbers on that from Lego head. But yeah, he puts us in the lead. Look, did we ride our luck a little bit in that first half? We did. Martinelli goes clean through. If he scores that, I do believe it's a different game. But as I said at the start of this, you need a bit of luck in these sorts of matches across two legs. We got that luck because Martinelli hit the post. In hitting the post, we all breathed a massive sigh of relief in the 6,000 away end, and we go on from that. We do take the lead. We do get that momentum, and suddenly it's all with us. And I'm not saying, you know, we didn't create chance after chance after chance in that first half. I would probably argue that maybe Arsenal had the better of it to a degree, but we kept on chipping away. Half-time, happy days. Overpriced pint at half-time. You're thinking, right, what can we do in that second half? Do we go a bit more defensive? Because Eddie Howe set up with Joe Willock. I was a little bit surprised at that. I did genuinely think he was going to go Sean Longstaff. He didn't. He went with Joe Willock. That told me everything about what he saw about this Arsenal team. And I've got full faith in that. I respect that to a degree. But we were under the cosh in that first half. I don't think our midfield had too much control. I think Joe Willock was definitely finding his feet, and it looked like a midfield that wasn't as used to playing with each other as what our Bruno, Joey, Sandro combination was. So half-time, 1-0 up, fan-fucking-tastic. On to the second half, what can we do? I tell you what, in the second half, Arsenal. If I was an Arsenal fan, title chasers, we get told. One of the best teams in the country, we get told. It was just ball after ball after ball into the box. That's all it was. It was just lumping the ball in, and we were able to deal with it. And honestly, there is not one player in that Newcastle team that I could give man of the match to over any of our defenders. Our defence tonight was absolutely fantastic. Did they have a couple of half chances? Yes. But generally speaking, not too much of a bother. And then we get that crucial second goal, and I am literally falling over myself in delirium that we are 2-0 up away from home at the Emirates, because us Newcastle fans are not used to going to the Emirates and picking up anything. And at 2-0, you are suddenly in a position where, look, if Arsenal score and you keep it at 2-1, worst case, you are still going back to that second leg with a lead. And that was the most important thing. That was the dream round thing at this point. So it goes 2-0. The Arsenal fans go quiet. Well, they were quiet all night, I'll be totally honest with you. And it's like, what can you do? And we did go more defensive, and I totally understand why Eddie Howe did that. He brought on Lloyd Kelly, which was probably a fatigue substitution. I totally understand it. He brought on Sean Longstaff, who we know is not going to offer as much going forward. He took off Alexander Isak, who 2 games in 3 days, he is always a player who gets a little bit fatigued. And we packed in, and I think by the end of that game, we were probably Eddie Howe's 1-5-5, Mags. That was the formation, which you don't often see under our manager. And Arsenal just pumped ball after ball after ball into the box, and we dealt with every single one. And that is why, in a match like this, why every single Newcastle defender, from Livramento, from Botman, from Byrne, all the way through to the absolutely incredible Lewis Hall, deserves man of the match. There is not one person in this team from an attacking point of view who I'm going to talk about as individual stars. I thought in midfield, look, I wanted Tonali to step up. Do I think Tonali stepped up? Yes. Do I still think we missed Bruno? Of course, yes. Joe Willock is a very, very different player, so I would not want any Newcastle fan to compare the two in the post-match on how that midfield performed. I thought Tonali was very, very astute in how he performed. Joe Linton probably's made a couple of rash decisions. He let the match, the occasion get to his head a little bit, which we know Joe Linton does. That's why he gets a yellow card every game. But that defence is one of the most proud performances I have had as a Newcastle fan. Not just because we've won in the Emirates for the first time since 2010, but because we dealt with every single ball that they pumped into the box. And for Newcastle United to come away from home with a makeshift defence, with a midfield, with our captain suspended, and take a 2-0 lead away, I am absolutely proud as punch of every single one of them. And we rode that storm just like we did in Tottenham, and we have conquered North London twice in 3 days. And this Newcastle United team has won 7 matches in a row, and that is unheard of in the top level of English football. I am sorry. And I tell you what, I'm going to say this out loud, which could curse myself. Of course it could. The trains for Wembley, the hotel was already booked on free cancellation. Of course it was. The hotels were sorted. The trains were booked during that match. I put in the text message, the trains are booked, because we are 2-0 up going into St James's Park second leg, where I personally think that Mikel Arteta, Mr Lego Head, might be just thinking, do you know what, this could be done. Let's put all our eggs in the basket on the FA Cup and the Premier League. And if you would have asked me before, would I have taken a semi-final defeat rather than get beat in a second final in the Carabao Cup in the space of a couple of years? I would have rather have lost in the semi-final. But now that Tottenham and Liverpool could await us, and I'm not jumping the gun just too much, but could await us, I think Newcastle, on our day, if we have the right form like I am seeing from this group of players, why would I not back this group of players to go and beat Tottenham or Liverpool, who are both very attacking teams in that final, and finally bring a trophy home. And anyone watching this match vlog who might not be a Newcastle fan, who might say you're deluded, Newcastle have won nothing for years. Well, I've just watched my team go to the Emirates, one of the title chasers in the Premier League, I've been told. One of the teams that apparently tonight, as I said, maybe a draw or a low-scoring defeat would have sufficed. We've gone to their place. They've caused us very few problems other than that chance in the first half, and we have taken a 2-0 lead back to St James's Park. Eddie Howe's Mags are absolutely flying, and all them Arsenal fans who want to chuck coins down us like the petty little fans that they are, well, you've seen United now F off home, as we happily chanted to their exiting away fans quite late in that match. Newcastle fans, I'm not saying we've got one foot in Wembley, but I am also saying we've got 1 foot in Wembley. So let's just see them off in the second leg and get ourselves there. But this time, bring that trophy home. If you've liked this match for Newcastle fans, I'm just about to step on the train. I've got a bag of cans of wine, a couple of other bits and bobs to enjoy my journey home. It's going to be a late one. I've got work tomorrow. Dealing with Eddie Howe's Mags looks like it's going to have to be a conquering North London episode. So please, Newcastle fans, do us a favour. If you've watched it this far, drop that like, drop that subscribe, drop that follow. Get Black White Banter across all social media. And I will see you on the next one for Bromley. Very different game than what we've just witnessed in the FA Cup on Sunday. Away, Eddie Howe's Tell Me Ma Mags. And if my mum, you're watching, just put the food in the freezer, because it's not going to be eaten anytime soon. Oh yeah, lads!